And some of that I'm going to credit to the AlphaFly 3s, because when I kicked it up a notch, boy, they are something special. And you know, it allows Alright, so I'm back down to the rails for trails today. Once again, my plan was foiled to go down to my local high school track to run, because they just had some kind of events going on down there. I pulled in, you know, it's fun to see all of that activity, you know, all of the energy that all those high schoolers and their parents and so on have, but for me to be able to use the track when there's stuff going on, just, that wasn't going to work. Simply wasn't going to work. So today I'm out at the rails for trails, so I pivoted, I changed directions, but I didn't change shoes. I had planned to run in the Nike AlphaFly 3s today, and so I'm gonna continue on with that plan. You know, last time I was doing some speed work, I ran out here in the Adios Pro 4. Now I did get a warning from one of you guys, so thank you for the tip, that they had actually broke one of the rods in their pair of Adios Pro 4s running on gravel. So I probably won't be doing that again. I don't think I should have any kind of issues along those lines. I've run in various versions of the AlphaFly over the years on gravel roads at times, and didn't seem to have any issues. The only issue that could come up is they've got a pretty deep groove in here and up here at the top, so I might pick up a stone or two from time to time, so I might have to stop and kind of pluck that out, because I have nicked up the plate before where I've caught a stone in there and it kind of rubbed against the plate. So that's something I am going to be paying attention to. If that happens, you know, I might just stop and pivot and try to do something different. But for now, the plan is I'm gonna do my long run out here today in the Nike AlphaFly 3s, and it's a little different format than the past long runs that I've had. Now in the past I was going, you know, worked up to, I don't know, 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that, at an easy pace. Today I'm gonna go at an easy pace for an hour, and then I'm gonna try to pick up the pace, if I can, for the last 30 minutes. I'm just gonna do the best that I can. Just going to do the best I can, and I'm going to be shooting for a pace that would be the equivalent of maybe my half marathon pace. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to getting into this workout. Hopefully my body's going to cooperate. You know, yesterday I went out for an easy run, and the pain from my bursitis and tendonitis and all that kind of stuff just did not go away as it has in the past, and so I'm a little leery about what I'm going to find today. Hopefully I'll get into the workout and that pain will go away and I'll be just fine, and then I can take this next week to maybe ease up a little bit and see if I can't address that going into the next week's workouts. But for today, I'm just going to give it a shot and see what happens, and I'll take you guys along with me to check it out. All right, let's go do this thing. All right, let's get our Garmin going here. Run, do workout, give it a second for it to connect to the satellites. I'm gonna walk just a little bit, try to get things loosened up here, especially on my right hip with that bursitis, which causes a little bit of pain. Okay, so maybe more than just a little bit. It's pretty painful. So we'll see. If I can get, like I said, if I can get through today's workout, and you know, that goes okay, I'm definitely going to take this next week to dial it back a notch, and maybe I'll run on my treadmill where it's a lot softer surfaces. You know, it's a low budget treadmill, or I should say budget-friendly treadmill. Not a lot of bells and whistles, and it's a foldable treadmill that you can fold up and store under your bed if you wanted to. But what I like about it is it has a lot of give, and so I think that that might be a little bit easier on my body, even though it's not nearly as much fun to run on. Okay, I'm gonna walk a little bit more and then I'm gonna get into this workout. All right. This is always a nice place here on my run. This little bridge up here, got the creek. I mentioned it before in other videos, but it never gets old. It never gets old. Oh, so I'm having a little bit of leakage with my hydration vest up at the bike valve, so I'm gonna have to replace that. You know, this thing has seen a lot of use, so I'm not at all disappointed with how it performed. But what I've noticed is that after I take a drink and I create some of that suction, it wants to drip and sometimes even spray at times out when I'm running. So I'm carrying a lot of water with me, and you know, I don't want to lose it on the ground and waste all that effort of carrying it if I don't get a chance to drink it. So when I get back, I'm going to be looking for a new bike valve that I can use to replace this one, or maybe find one off of a vest I already own, but likely I'll just buy a new one. Do you guys have a favorite hydration vest that you like to use? Maybe you could share that in the comment section below. So I mentioned dialing it back a little bit next week, and that's all kind of by design. You know, at this point in the 16-week marathon training block, I like to factor in kind of a mini taper. You know, it's something that my body definitely needs. I want to try to work out some of these, you know, little aches and pains that have crept up along the way. And doing kind of a mini taper, I think will go a long way in helping me do that. And as I mentioned, I'll probably do a lot of the work on my treadmill. Plus, it's a little more convenient for me to do that. It's not as fun, but with watching my granddaughter, you know, Monday through Wednesdays, treadmill oftentimes, you know, that's my best option, because I can set up the baby monitor and watch her while I'm out in the garage running on the treadmill while she takes a nap. Sometimes I don't always get the full amount of the workout that I was intending to do, but that's okay. That's okay. I know I've mentioned that in previous videos, but I just thought it would bear mentioning again in this one, since I was talking about running on my treadmill. So for me, my training is all about the art of the pivot and making changes on the fly when you need to. And today's one of those days. You know, I'm not quite an hour into this workout, getting ready to run a little faster for that 30 minutes, but my body is not feeling it today. I'm really tired. My legs are tired. I'm having a hard time turning my legs over today. You know, I'm running at an easy pace, 9 30-minute mile pace, but it feels a lot harder than that today. So I'm just going to do the best I can for that last 30 minutes. I have no expectation to get up to like my half marathon pace. Frankly, I'd be happy if I could just maintain this pace for today. And then I'll look forward to the taper next week and hopefully get my legs rejuvenated so I can finish this training block out strong. We'll see. All we can do is the best that we can do. This workout has come to an end. And you know, I did a little better for that 30 minutes than I thought that I might. And some of that I'm going to credit to the AlphaFly 3s, because when I kicked it up a notch, boy, they are something special. And you know, it allowed me to turn my legs over, get that little extra energy, little bounce to help me get through my gait. And you know what, I think I got close to my half marathon pace, which is, you know, around a 7:40 minute mile pace. Let's go ahead and hit save on my watch. Of course, it says 52 hours to recover. Training is still productive, so that's good. Let's see, 10.78 miles, 1 hour, 34 minutes and 1 second. My average pace, including, you know, warm up and all that kind of stuff, is an 8:43 minute mile pace. What it doesn't tell me, let me see if I can get to all stats. I guess it's, I thought it might on my watch. If I get on my computer, I'm sure that it will. What some of my paces were during that 30 minutes. But when I glanced down at my watch, it was close to 7:40. It might have been 7:45, but then other times I'd glance down, you know, and it would say 7:38, something like that. So, I think we got close. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that the workout ended up, because honestly, after that hour, getting ready to get into that 30 minutes, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But I surprised myself. All right, you guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another, keep the sweat out of your eyes, and we'll see you next time.